Long, long time ago, when the postal system was modernized, the chronically overworked Postmaster General overlooked two tiny post offices. One tucked away in the rolling hills of Somersetshire, the other somewhere in London. After unsuccessfully awaiting modernization, these two offices continued with their quiet lives until one day their daily routine was violently disrupted by the letters of Lady Susan, the most accomplished coquette in England. To avoid another scandal on social media, Lady Susan had now taken to letter writing, and her letters were eagerly expected by the two post offices through which all of these letters coincidentally passed. What with the secrecy of the letter no longer being what it used to be, Lady Susan's letters soon ceased to be private after all.
All right, we're all here. Catherine, apologize to Patricia.
I'm sorry I was nosy, Mrs. Khan. Won't happen again.
That's all right, Catherine. Just make sure it won't happen again.
Well then, let's get this over with.
Oh, Cecily, don't be so grumpy. Let the young ones have their fun with this.
The young ones have their fun.
What was that, Helen? Never mind. We have a letter.
So do we, as I was trying to say earlier.
Oh, please go ahead, Cecily, dear.
Well, ours is from Mrs. Vernon to Lady de Courcy, her mother. Shall I read it?
Yes, ma'am. Please do.
All right, then. My dear mother, you must not expect Reginald back again for some time. He desires me to tell you that the present open weather induces him to accept Mr. Vernon's invitation to prolong his stay in Sussex, that they may have some hunting together. He means to send for his horses immediately, and it is impossible to say when you may see him in Kent. I will not disguise my sentiments on this change from you, my dear mother, though I think you had better not communicate them to my father, whose excessive anxiety about Reginald would subject him to an alarm which might seriously affect his health and spirits. Lady Susan has certainly contrived in the space of a fortnight to make my brother like her. In short, I am persuaded that his continuing here beyond the time originally fixed for his return is occasioned as much by a degree of fascination towards her as by the wish of hunting with Mr. Vernon. And of course I cannot receive that pleasure from the length of his visit which my brother's company would otherwise give me. I am indeed provoked at the artifice of this unprincipled woman. What stronger proof of her dangerous abilities can be given than this perversion? Not sure. This perversion of Reginald's judgment, which, when he entered the house, was so decidedly against her. In his last letter, he actually gave me some particulars of her behavior at Langford, such as he received from a gentleman who knew her perfectly well, which, if true, must raise abhorrence against her, and which Reginald himself was entirely disposed to credit. His opinion of her, I am sure, was as low as of any woman in England. And when he first came, it was evident that he considered her as one entitled neither to delicacy nor respect, and that he felt she would be delighted with the attentions of any man inclined to flirt with her. Who didn't know that? Her behavior, I confess, has been calculated to do away with such an idea. I have not detected the smallest impropriety in it. Nothing of vanity, of pretension, of levity. And she is altogether so attractive that I should not wonder at his being delighted with her, had he known nothing of her previous to this personal acquaintance. But against reason, against conviction, to be so well pleased with her, as I am sure he is, does really astonish me. His admiration was at first very strong, but no more than was natural, and I did not wonder at his being much struck by the gentleness and delicacy of her manners. But when he has mentioned her of late, it has been in terms of more extraordinary praise. And yesterday he actually said that he could not be surprised at any effect produced on the heart of a man by such loveliness and such abilities. And when I lamented in reply the badness of her disposition, he observed that whatever might have been her errors, they were to be imputed to her neglected education and early marriage, and that she was altogether a wonderful woman. This tendency to excuse her conduct, or to forget it, in the warmth of admiration, vexes me. And if I did not know that Reginald is too much at home at Churchill to need an invitation for lengthening his visit, I should regret Mr. Vernon's giving him any. Lady Susan's intentions are, of course, those of absolute coquetry? This handwriting, seriously. Or a desire of universal admiration. I cannot for a moment imagine that she has anything more serious in view. But it mortifies me to see a young man of Reginald's sense duped by her at all. I am Catherine Vernon, and so on and so forth.
Oh, this is so fascinating. They're all up there at the house, and you're so close by. Do you see them often?
Sure, like all the time, every day, twice.
She's just kidding, Mary, and we don't see them ever.
And a good thing it is. It's none of our business. They are none of our business.
Yes, well, let's get on with the reading, shall we? This one's from Mrs. Johnson to Lady Susan. Edward Street. My dearest friend, I congratulate you on Mr. de Courcy's arrival, and I advise you by all means to marry him. That's very direct.
Yeah.
His father's estate is, we know, considerable, and I believe certainly entailed. Sir Reginald is very infirm and not likely to stand in your way long.
Checks all the boxes.
I suppose. I hear the young man well spoken of, and though no one can really deserve you, my dearest Susan, Mr. de Courcy may be worth having. Mannering will storm, of course, but you easily pacify him. Besides, the most scrupulous point of honour could not require you to wait for his emancipation. I have seen Sir James. He came to town for a few days last week and called several times in Edward Street. I talked to him about you and your daughter, and he is so far from having forgotten you that I am sure he would marry either of you with pleasure.
People these days.
I gave him hopes of Frederica's relenting, and told him a great deal of her improvements. I scolded him for making love to Maria Mannering. He protested that he had been only in joke, and we both laughed heartily at her disappointment, and in short were very agreeable. There's a lot of intrigue in there. He is as silly as ever. Yours faithfully, Alicia.
And so are they.
Come again, dear.
They are as silly as ever, deciding upon a person's future, bossing him around. This is outrageous. Well, it is, isn't it? Not that I would know, of course, but not from my own experience, but right?
I mean, she does have a point.
But that's the whole fun of it.
I don't think it's silly to want love or marriage or want that for someone else?
Yeah, sure. Love. That's what they want.
Well, that's it from us today. Good seeing you, Patricia. Now, everybody back to work, if you please.
Yes, ma'am.